All right, episode 3. Episode 2 took forever to upload, so hopefully this one doesn't take so long. Put a timer on your phone. 31 minutes. Today, we're going with the Old Faithful. Lone Star. And I got you a glass this time.
Yeah.
These are ice cold, bro. Did you put a timer on your watch, too?
Yeah. Since I never use it.
Yeah, I don't wear watches anymore.
Why not?
Because I have a phone. When was the last time you looked at your watch to tell the time?
I do it all the time.
You do?
I do it every morning.
I don't.
That's the first thing I look at when I wake up. With this, hit the light.
Yeah, we got some Stein mugs from Oktoberfest, Fort Worth at Panther Island Pavilion. Mine's 2018. What year's yours from? And what year's yours from?
2016?
2016?
Yeah.
Maybe I skipped 2017. Maybe I didn't go that year. All right, cheers, man.
All right, cheers.
This is normal drinking beer. I'm not worried about these ones. All right, man. So how's your week been going? How's work? Chilling?
Yeah, pretty good. Boss is, well, he wasn't here today, but he's out all week. He's going to the Grand Canyon with his family and shit.
That's cool. And
Must be nice, right?
I know, it must be nice.
He canceled though. At first, they were supposed to go on a cruise, him and his family, or I don't know, but
Vaccines?
I guess I don't know. I'm not sure what they ended up canceling.
Yeah, man, work's pretty chill. The new job's going good. Just getting down the process, but
Was it your second week?
on my third week, I got my first paycheck today. Because I came in at the beginning of a pay cycle, so I had to work 2 full weeks, then get paid.
That fucking sucks though.
So 3 weeks,
Yeah.
no check. Well, I got a check the Monday I started over there for my last job, but still, it's like, man, it's cutting it kind of close, guys. I don't know. But, yeah, man. So the topic for today's podcast, Vincent even wore his Spurs hoodie. We're going to talk about sports and our likes and dislikes of teams. So, Vincent, who's your favorite basketball team?
Well, San Antonio Spurs, of course. But they kind of sucking ass right now. But they've been in close games.
But
They lose them at the end.
But why are you a Spurs fan? Is it all pop or
No, it's Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. Were you a Spurs fan like further back or just Tim Duncan?
No, once Tim Duncan came in, because I remember when he went to Wake Forest.
All right.
I just
And you've
followed
been
him.
ride or die Spurs fan your
Yep.
entire life. Get out of here with that, man. Man, I used to be really into basketball, and I used to like the Mavericks, but I don't know. It's just one of those. You're from the region, so you support the team.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the way sports is anymore. Now I feel like with fantasy football and with like LeBron moving team to team to team to team, back to a team, leaves that team.
Yep.
And then it's the same thing with you watch. Everybody is interested in the player, like they're a fan of that one player, not just that team.
Oh yeah, they just followed him. Yeah.
And just like you said, you followed Tim Duncan as he progressed into the NBA and became an NBA player. But I mean, I feel like with fantasy football is a big one because you start rooting for guys that you would never root for because you're trying to win your fantasy football league. Like, I don't care about the Carolina Panthers, but I played fantasy football since he's been in the league. I didn't play this year because I just haven't been keeping up with football that much.
I haven't played in 2 years. Remember that time we did the family one?
Yeah, and nobody really kept up with it.
Hell yeah.
But it's one of those things, man. These guys, it's a lot of the younger kids, and then a lot of dudes that play fantasy football. That like Christian McCaffrey is my example. Christian McCaffrey, he's a cool dude. He puts up solid numbers. He's a good running back. But I always made a point to try to get him in the draft.
Yeah.
Because he put up solid numbers, and I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, So football wise, I mean the Eagles. I drafted players off of players I liked one year, and I did terrible. I tried to get like when Carson Wentz was in Philadelphia. I got Carson. I had Zach Ertz, and then I don't remember what I had. No, Jeremy Maclin wasn't there anymore. I don't remember the other wide receiver I would get, but I would get guys that are like, oh, they're good, but they're really not that good.
Yeah.
When you draft with your heart, your team's terrible. And like honestly, dude, my best fantasy football teams were auto draft teams when I just didn't pay attention to it, and it just picked players based off of stats and number lines and
what was available.
yeah, the best available is this guy. And then like the thing with quarterback is it doesn't matter, like. Because Tom Brady can have a terrible game. Yep. Cam Newton did really good for me a couple of years when he was with Carolina. But, I mean, the quarterbacks are a dime a dozen. Like, the quarterback, someone has to throw a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Or if the game's not going to be 0-0 at the end. So as long as you get a solid quarterback that can put up 2 touchdowns and maybe some rushing yards. Like Russell Wilson, back in the day, was an amazing fantasy football quarterback. Because he would drop bombs to dudes you never heard of.
Yeah. But it's like Mahomes now. Well, they kind of figured him out now.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just have an off year. But
like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is great, but Aaron Rodgers is one of those quarterbacks that make the players around him better.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't need Antonio Brown to show up in Green Bay. He doesn't need a big-name wide receiver. He's like what was that, Allison Geronimo? That was that dude's name or something like that? He had some random wide receiver that he had never thrown to, and someone got hurt, so they put him in there, and that dude proceeded to pick up like 100 yards and 4 or 5 catches in the game, and it's like, man, is Aaron Rodgers just that good?
Well, he does got, to me, the best receiver on his team right now.
Who?
Adams.
Yeah, but he's hurt.
Yeah, but
that's the thing too. Like,
well, he's out too. Yeah.
That's what ruins fantasy football too. Like, you drafted.
Goddamn.
Dude, Christian McCaffrey did that to me one year. Drafted him. He got me like 30 points in the first game, 20 points the next game, out with injury reserve.
He's still hurt now, ain't he?
I think so. They're not doing anything over there in Carolina though. They're not going to win a Super Bowl.
They're paying him all this money. He stays hurt.
Yeah,
I think it's his size. I mean,
that's one of the things that's good for Zeke because the Cowboys got Pollard.
Yeah. And
man, that's a 1-2 punch. Just like when the Cowboys had Julius Jones and Marion Barber, and Julius Jones was the first half running back, and then you throw fresh Marion Barber in there in the third quarter, and he's running dudes over because he's fresh legs.
Yeah.
And
the defense tired.
Yeah, you wear the defense down in the first half, and then you get out there and they're like, oh man, this dude hadn't played the whole first half.
Yep. Damn. Who the Eagles got this week?
I don't know, dude. I haven't been keeping up with it.
Up with it?
I mean, the only time I wore my freaking Eagles jersey was we came back from Oklahoma that day. And I haven't put it back on. I haven't wore an Eagles hat. I haven't talked about the Eagles. I don't think
Hurts is the answer.
Jalen Hurts he's good, but you change so much in 1 year's time frame because you got a new head coach in there that's never called plays before. Now he's calling plays for a guy that just took over last year as quarterback from when Carson got hurt. And then they traded Zach Ertz. I'm like, dude, Zach Ertz. But they got Dallas Goedert, and that's great. But, I mean, Zach Ertz is tried and true Philadelphia Eagle.
Where'd he go to?
Over Kyler Murray and Cardinals.
Damn,
Arizona Cardinals.
Good. But Packers beat them last week.
That was a good game.
And the Packers they had a shitload of players out.
Yeah. But it's one of the things, dude. I feel like sports has become more of an individual fan base where you're a fan of a player and not a team. And it's a team sport, man, because the one guy you're rooting for, he can't do it all.
Yeah.
And like when you look at one of the big ones is the Baltimore Ravens when they beat the 49ers for that Super Bowl. When you look at that team, there wasn't anybody on that team that was like a superstar. Ray Lewis was the only one. Ray Rice, the running back, he was all right. I mean, he was a good running back, but he wasn't like...
Yeah. It wasn't,
you were going to draft him first round in your fantasy league.
Yeah.
And then Joe Flacco. Mm-mm.
He just got lucky, dude. That defense.
He had a defense and he could throw the ball.
Well,
and
he played good in the playoffs. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He fucking
Like I remember
Patriots.
I remember that playoff. It was that was when Peyton Manning was still with Denver, and the whole game or the whole pre game when I'm watching his playoff game, they're talking about Peyton Manning wearing a glove, not wearing a glove, trying to figure out how he wants to play, and Joe Flacco's just over there bare hands because he was like, I don't understand what the problem is, because Peyton Manning had never played home outside in the snow because he was in a dome with the Colts. So when he goes over there, they play outside in the snow, and he didn't know how to adjust. Tom Brady never has to adjust because Foxborough, it snows.
But he still wears that glove no matter what.
Yeah, but that's just how he plays, and that's the thing with Joe Flacco up there in Baltimore. Apparently, he was like, "Why are we talking about wearing a glove and not wearing a glove?" Yeah, guys. So we're cutting. We're doing cut and edits because there was a lot of rambling last time, and I closed the blinds so Vincent can't look outside and start looking at what he thinks is a turkey on someone's roof. All right, man. So the state of basketball. What do you think? Think the Lakers are going to win the championship?
Fucking hope not. I'm not sure, man. It's just too early right now. I'm hoping my Spurs get their shit together, but maybe they will. They've been.
Dude, I don't even.
They've been in close games.
I don't even know who plays for the Spurs right now. The only players I know that plays for the Mavericks that I know is Luka, and I think Porzingis is still there, but I don't know if he's hurt or not.
That boy stays hurt.
Porzingis is a hybrid of Dirk Nowitzki and Sean Bradley. Like he's like Dirk. He's not Dirk because Dirk was Dirk, and you're never going to recreate the player that he was. And Sean Bradley was just too tall, and that's why he was good. He wasn't like this amazing defender. He wasn't this amazing, agile, large man. He was just when you needed.
Well, hey, he was in fucking Space Jam, remember?
Yeah, he was. But he was just one of those dudes that you could throw him the ball, and he could. 9 times out of 10, he could make a quick layup or dunk on a guy because the other guy was shorter than him. Yep. And like Yao Ming, but Yao Ming was way more aggressive than Sean Bradley. But their games were similar. But Yao Ming, he had a little jumper on him.
He had a little jump shot, but he stayed injured too.
Because bodies are not designed to be that big and not have muscle mass surrounding them.
Yeah.
That's like Game of Thrones, The Mountain. When you're that big, you need that much muscle to support your bones. Yeah. Your bones will also hurt because you're carrying around all that extra weight. But as long as it's muscle, that's what it needs to be.
Yeah. Heard on the radio the other day they were making fun of, I guess the announcers. I didn't watch the game with the Mavericks and Spurs, but I guess they mentioned him. He was like overweight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's the name? I can't say the Dominic or whatever.
Luka.
Just
say Luka, bro.
Yeah.
Just say
I'm trying to say his fucking last name. My bad.
Doncic.
But yeah, Luka. They're talking about he's overweight. But I mean, he's still playing good, but. I don't know.
It's like Butterbean, man. That dude could knock people out. He was way out of shape.
Yeah.
So I didn't plan on talking about this until today because I needed props to put in front of the camera. So I got this World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship belt here. Bro, how heavily were we into wrestling when we were little kids?
Big shit. I still watch videos. You
do too? I do too. I went back and I watched like Stone Cold's last match. I watched those remember Stone Cold was hurt. So he ran those weird like scripts with Kurt Angle on SmackDown where it's Stone Cold, Vince McMahon, and Kurt Angle all like they're all buddy. Stone Cold wasn't wrestling, but he was
that era right there.
He was there on a guitar. It was the Attitude Era was over.
Yeah.
There'll never be another time in wrestling where the Attitude Era in the 90s, you're pushing 90 to like 97, 98, and that was the real Attitude Era. That was a time they'll never be able to recreate. Every dude in the locker room, Hall of Fame wrestler. They could go out there, they could do the work, they could put on the show, they could entertain the crowd. And if any one of those dudes in that back locker room would have been in wrestling right now, they'd be the champ. They'd be the big sell. But you had so many dudes. I mean, you had The Rock, you had Stone Cold, you had The Undertaker, you had Kane, you had Mankind, Triple H. I mean, honestly, I think the badass Billy Gunn, the Road Dogg Jesse James, either one of them in a different era of wrestling, and they could have been bigger than Triple H was in that time frame. I mean, you had Shawn Michaels, you had Bret Hart, rest in peace, Owen Hart. Oh, dang, man, that still hurts to know that.
You saw it, didn't you?
I don't remember, dude. That's one of those things. Like, I don't know if I mentally blocked it because I don't want to think about it. I've gone back and watched the video.
Because they cut it, didn't they? Or no?
And they just kept on with the card. Like, they just kept on with the pay-per-view after that happened, which was in poor taste. Shame on you, Vince McMahon. But at the same time,
I think it's because they would have lost a lot of money.
I mean, I'm sure they would have.
But damn, a man died.
I know, but I mean, it's one of those things. It's a judgment call, but at the moment, so what do you do? All the fans are there. They just saw that happen. So we're gonna abruptly stop the show, and they're all gonna go home. And you think they're gonna be fine?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the best thing to do in that situation was carry on with the show. Like,
what did they do? They just carried him out, or what?
they put him on a stretcher, bro, and they wheeled him out. He was done. But but just that era of wrestling. And then when you had the ECW guys come in,
Dudley
Sabu, the Dudley Boys, man, we were
Dudley
hardcore
Boys.
in the Dudley Boys and the
3D.
Hardy Boys. Man, dude, that was one of the best like head-to-head tag team like you'll never get. And it was a three-way because Edge and Christian were also in the mix for the tag team championship. So you had the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon, and then you had Edge and Christian, who got out of Gangrel's shadow, and no one ever knew what happened to that guy. But Edge became the rated R superstar. Christian, they kind of came into themselves later on in WWE and TNA or whatever the other wrestling thing is.
Remember the Van Dam?
Rob Van Dam?
Right, there you go.
He would go, Rob Van Dam. And he'd had them kicks, bro.
Yeah.
And always flying off the top rope. He looked just like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like, just like him with hair. Because Jean-Claude Van Damme never had long hair like that. And I used to think his get-ups, his little wrestling things, those were super cool because they were all like weird colors mixed in all together. And then, like, I don't watch wrestling anymore, like on a regular basis. But like if something pops up, I'll be like, all right, maybe I'll watch this if it's on my YouTube feed. And like that dude Bray Wyatt, he became the Fiend, which is like the mask that he wears is like, remember when the Joker got his face cut off in the comic books, and then they put his face back on, and you can tell it's all jacked up. The Fiend's mask is basically based on that, and I mean it's a good storyline. It's better than what we've seen for a long time in wrestling.
Rey Mysterio's still right in it. He's with his son in it too, I think.
Yeah, his son made his debut either right after WrestleMania or something, and but I just don't keep up with the dude. Like, I know Cain Velasquez is wrestling in like...
I know, dude.
Cain Velasquez, the UFC fighter, former heavyweight champ, he was wrestling in Mexico, and then they needed a big draw. They needed to hype somebody up. Brock Lesnar was making his comeback, I think 1.5 years, 2 years ago or whatever.
He had the little ponytail?
No, that was his recent comeback.
Oh.
But I watched him do he did a meat video where there's like these two brothers that just like grab another beer, bro, because we're on a timer, remember? Yeah, he went to go carve meat, and I mean he's Wisconsin boy, Minnesota, he's somewhere up there. He's good old cornbread fed homeboy. He's huge, and now with his little ponytail and his beard growing out, he
played for the Vikings. Remember?
Yeah, he looks semi-Viking-ish right now.
Yeah, with
the little bitty ponytail.
I liked him when he first started fighting in the UFC.
Dude, I've always hated that fool's haircut.
But then when he fought, it was Cain Velasquez, someone that beat him.
Yeah, Cain Velasquez basically ended that fool's UFC career. I don't think he ever came back after Cain Velasquez.
No, he never. Yeah. Well, didn't he come back at one time, but then he failed a drug test or some shit.
I think he fought, and then it came out that he was on PEDs, and they said he had to stay in a pool for piss tests or whatever, or blood tests, and he was like, I got other stuff going on. He's like, I'm not going to go back to fighting. And then he made the play on Dana White and Vince, try to see who would give him more money.
Yeah.
And basically, he told Dana, hey, they want me to do this wrestling thing, and this is what they're going to pay me. And Dana was like, all right, well, I'll pay you this much. And then he ran back to Vince, and Vince is like, I'll double that. We'll do it. Let's do it.
Damn, fucking Vince McMahon.
Dude, but who's a bigger draw than Brock Lesnar? Like
I think for him, it's better for wrestling. For
right now, I mean, you don't have the CM Punk. He was a big draw.
Oh yeah, he's still doing it no more.
He was doing MMA, but man, he was terrible. Dana said he would never fight in the UFC again because he had, you watch when you first watch a boxing fight. The first 3 minutes, they're really finding range and filling each other out.
Yeah.
The same way with UFC. When you watch that first round, for the first 2 minutes, they're really just filling each other out, seeing, all right, where's my reach really at? How do I connect with my jab? Once my jab connects, I know where I can land a leg kick. And they did that for 3 rounds.
Shit.
And Dana was like, never again.
Who's he fighting?
I don't know, but that guy was just as bad as him.
Oh, shit.
And Dana said after the fight, they go, what did you think about CM Punk's performance? He's like, he'll never fight in the UFC again. Him and that other guy. I was like, dang, bro.
Did he go back to wrestling? Or
he's wrestling
no more, man, so.
He's wrestling, dude, because of YouTube. Like, I'll pop in and I'll look at stuff, and like, I'm still a big Triple H fan, and but because of that, like, it pops up in my feed. He's with AEW, which is dude. It's like the dude that owns it. I don't know who the dude is, but he's got some money. But the company is basically run for the most part by Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes' grandson, Goldust's son.
Oh.
Goldust still wrestles, bro. And Goldust, like,
that dude, was he gay?
No, bro.
I know, right?
That was the persona that they came up with. But bro, can you know how much balls it takes to put that persona on of Goldust? If you don't know who Goldust is, Google him. Google him, look him up on YouTube. There's these really weird segments they did during the Attitude Era, but he pulled it off.
Yeah.
And he sold it, bro. And it was just like, I don't know what this dude's doing. Why is he painted gold? Why is his outfit gold? He just looks weird. Oh, dude, remember, what was that dude's name? The Godfather. You remember The Godfather? He would come out there with all the girls, all the hoes. He dressed up like a pimp, bro. Yeah. And then he ended up with Steven Richards, and they were the...
But remember Mark Henry?
Yeah.
And Mae Young?
Mae Young, yeah.
Remember that time, was she like pregnant or something? Or they
and then it was all for show, bro, but... Like, they went to have, have a little baby, and it was just like a little plastic baby arm came out, and he was like, "Oh my god!" Oh, it was terrible. That storyline was so bad. No, he's still alive.
Oh, is he? What they call him, the world's strongest man? Or something?
Yeah, dude, he is freakishly strong. There's a video on YouTube where he picks up. There's like some.
You know, it reminds me. Remember from the party, D.
D over there with his Dos Equis and his Crown Royal. I was like, oh man. I don't know how that dude was. Well, I mean, I don't know how that dude was walking around. Oh. But yeah, man, wrestling was something else for us. The Hardy Boys.
I think Jeff's. Don't they still wrestle? I think they do.
Man, Jeff's been going through some stuff, bro. Like, he has like. Oh, you never seen that match? So he was in TNA with Sting, and
like recently.
I want to say this is probably maybe 7 or 8 years ago.
Oh.
But on YouTube, there's a match where Jeff Hardy comes down to the ring and he's throwed, like high, drunk, you name it, and he shows up like that to fight, and like Sting's like a showman. He's like the real deal. Like he's here to put on a show, to give the fans what they want, and he's in the ring. And he's like, "Come on!" And then Jeff Hardy's like, "Oh," and he's just like trying to amp up the crowd and everything. And then Sting finally, I don't know Sting's finisher. Sting's character is super cool, but I just never paid attention that much.
I remember he was in WCW, dude.
Yeah, he was WCW, bro. Remember Thursday Night Thunder?
Yeah. Remember Rey Mysterio started on WCW. Or he probably started somewhere there, but I remember him from WCW.
He was in WCW, but they had I think there was 3 Mexican wrestlers.
But I don't know if that was his name, though, because I remember he had it was like a dragon or something.
No, there was another one. That's another guy.
Oh.
There was 3 of them, and they were like a crew. But then one of the coolest things that WCW ever had, look aside Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man Randy Savage was the man, for sure. But was the 4 Horsemen. When they had Eddie Guerrero, Saturn, Dean Malenko, and I can never remember the 4th one.
I think I just had it, but it went away.
Oh, I got the tablet here, bro. This is why I have the tablet. Oh, we'll go back to this story because we are going to do news stories today. The 8th story. Okay, so we're going to do a new segment, and we're going to call it 817. And we're going to do the 8th news story, the 1st news story, and the 7th news story that pops up on Google News. The 8th news story today. Oh, man, this is going to kill the vibe. Colin Powell remembered as a leader, a father, and a friend at funeral.
Who?
Colin Powell. You remember Colin Powell, bro?
I gotta see your face, man. I'm bad with names.
Let's click. Why are they showing a picture of Joe Biden at Colin Powell's funeral? Just show the casket with the flag on top of it. That's what we need to see. We don't need to see Joe Biden. Man.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe.
That's what Trump called him.
He is Sleepy Joe. Seriously, they should have one picture of Colin Powell in the story about his funeral. That's ridiculous. Oh, I need to open another window. But yeah, dude, Colin Powell was I don't know. He was something. He was something with George Bush when 9/11 happened. He was up there, bro. He was somebody.
Damn, 9/11.
That's Colin Powell. He was I don't know. He wasn't the Attorney General. That's what I want to say.
Okay, sir.
He was a 4-star general who served. Oh, Secretary of State. There we go. He was Secretary of State.
I still don't remember his ass, but
but yeah, he was Colin Powell, bro.
Yeah.
That's what he was. He was the first black U.S. Secretary of State, which, it is what it is. He was born to Jamaican immigrants. He was Jamaican, bro. But yeah, it's just one of those. He'll be remembered in American history because a lot of the decisions that he made during 9/11 and the ongoing war in Iraq and all that. Oh man, this is why I can't. I don't understand this Amazon Fire tablet.
you just get that or what?
No, it's not mine. It's the kids. But that 9/11 stuff, bro. It was just
Yeah, she was crazy.
It was just one of those things. It'll always be part of our history, and we'll always.
Hey, so New York they're ahead of us, right? Time wise, time zones.
I don't know, bro.
I was just asking because I remember it was starting first period. That's when I first heard of it.
Yeah, no, they are ahead of us because there it happened at So, this is the way I always remember. So when you watch a baseball game here, where the Rangers are playing in California, the game's at 9:05 here, our time.
Yeah, but over there,
But in California, it's 7:05.
Yeah.
So as you go across the country, you add time and you start on the West Coast. So you're looking at, I want to say New York
Maybe
is
2
probably
hours?
2 hours, maybe hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah. or an hour.
So it would make first period because dude, when I wasn't at school yet, because we were watching it on. I was at my friend Harris's house. Harris Sneed, if you ever see this, hit me up in the comments. We need to hang out. But his mom would take us to school, and she would have the news going in the morning while she was getting ready, and she'd go yell at us to go eat something, make some grits, make some oatmeal, bacon, whatever.
Damn, must be nice shit.
She would yell at us to go make it. She wasn't making it for us. So we'd get up and because my mom would drop me off there like super early. Yeah. Because Zach's babysitter lived across the street. So finally get up and get rolling, and then it would just be like, well, y'all ready? And then she'd just drop us off at school, and then she would go to work. Yeah. Well, that morning she was watching the news. She goes, "Oh, y'all need to come in here, watch this." So we went in there, and she's like, "A plane just crashed into a building in New York City." And we were sitting there watching it, and I was like, man, this is crazy. And then we saw the second one hit. Like, we're sitting there watching it, like, man, that's crazy.
It just came out of nowhere? Or?
Yeah, the plane just goes, bah! And it's like, whoa, are you kidding me? Did that just happen just now? Like, how did that happen? And how did we not know that this was the thing that was going on? Like, who knew that we were going to be under attack from
I remember that,
terrorists?
I think it's I might be wrong the name that sings it. I don't know if it's Godsmack, but they made a song where it says, let the bodies hit the floor. You know what I'm talking about?
That's
and they stopped playing it because, people were jumping off the buildings and shit.
Yeah, dude, I watched that Hulu special where they were talking about it that came out that week before. And, man, it was some gruesome stuff, man. It was not something that I was like...
it's like you had to burn or just...
But this was crazy. There was people that
had a heart attack anyways before hitting the ground, but still.
Well, they say that, but only that person
say that,
knows.
Right? I know if they did or not.
The only person knows is the person that did it. But, yeah, dude.
Did you go to school, though, still? Still in school?
Yeah, we went to school for like 3 hours, I think, and then we had early dismissal. But, everything went on lockdown, bro. I feel like everything got worse than COVID did when 9/11 happened. Because I remember everybody was afraid to go out. Everybody was afraid to go places where there would be a large gathering because what if another terrorist attack happens? I just felt like it just kept rolling like that for at least maybe a year or two. And then I just remember those commercials they would run on TV where it would be like, when 9/11 happened, Al-Qaeda and the terrorists wanted to change America. And they show American streets before, and then they go, they succeeded. And then they show the streets now, and there's American flags everywhere. And it's like, hell yeah, bro! But that's just what it felt like. Yeah. Oh man, this tablet's terrible.
Now, I remember the day everybody was getting checked out of school. Second, third period and shit. And I knew I wasn't going to get checked out because my mom was asleep.
I'm going to have to buy a better tablet.
What is it? What is it called?
Amazon. Do you look it up on your phone?
What are we looking up again?
Just go to Google and just type in news. Right. That was the 8th story, so we got to go to the first story now. Because this is the 817 news channel. But yeah, let's talk about Lone Star while you're looking at that. Lone Star is a beer that is tried and true. It is a beer that is close to my heart because it is a beer that's made right here in Texas. And there's nothing like the Lone Star State. And there's plenty of beers that taste similar to Lone Star. It just tastes like beer. It doesn't. There's no hints of anything. It's literally just beer, and you can drink it. What, bro?
I went to Google, but I'm clicking on what's on. You talking about the rest of the story?
We did 8. Just do one. Whatever the first story that popped up. Let's talk about that.
Canelo versus.
Well, let's talk about it. We were going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
Who you got? Oh, we're talking about the first news story that popped up, probably because of Vincent's history and Google, is Canelo and
Plant.
Caleb Plant. I really want to take Caleb Plant. because I feel like he's got a little something, some extra.
I don't know.
I don't know. I saw a picture of Canelo. Oh man, that fool looks beastly right now, bro.
Man, who knows if he's fucking taking something?
He's eating horse meat, bro. That's what he said last time. Caleb Plant called him on it, but if they're testing him, I'm sure.
But
But
a lot of people don't catch that shit. Where remember when after the first Golovkin and Canelo fight, they're supposed to fight again, but it got postponed because he had failed a drug test. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But no one ever brings that shit up if it's someone else.
he's a Mexican fighter, bro.
I know, but
He's good for boxing. No one ever wants to bring it up.
That's true. Yeah, I'd rather see him fighting fucking Jake Paul.
Hey man, those dudes are putting on fights, and Jake Paul's fighting real people, right? Logan Paul's fighting.
Wait, which one's the
Logan fought Mayweather. He's the older one, and Jake was
Jake
the
is
one.
the better one.
Jake
is the better.
I don't know if he's better. He's picking opponents, and he didn't knock out Tyron Woodley. It just went to decision.
Would have let him off on that, man. I think we could have had him, but I think Logan's gonna fight.
They say he's talking about fighting Tyson.
No, Tyson Fury's like half brother.
No, Jake is.
Oh,
Jake Paul's gonna fight, but
you
Tyson
talking
Fury.
about Mike Tyson?
Yeah, Logan Paul's
I don't know
trying.
if that's really
Logan Paul's
legit
trying
or
to
not.
call. No, he's trying to call out Mike Tyson.
Dude,
That's a big
man.
payday, bro. You fight Mike Tyson, but
Everybody gonna watch that shit. But they gonna be rules and shit. I don't think they'll.
well, that's like Chuck Liddell was on Food Truck Diaries. Brendan Schaub's they go to a food truck and eat some food thing that he does, and Chuck Liddell said he goes, "I'd be down to watch Mike Tyson box Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch a glorified sparring match," which is what Mayweather and like, dude, this video you can go back and look at it. Mayweather knocked Logan Paul out on his feet, and Mayweather hit him, and then he goes like this and starts falling forward, and Mayweather catches him like, "Oh,
Yeah.
bro, you're not supposed to go down. We're trying to put on a show."
For real.
And it's just one of the things, dude. You just never know. Like the Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson, there was no headshots.
Yeah,
Nobody was
they
swinging
weren't
for the
letting them go at
fences.
it.
There was a lot of body shots, and Roy Jones.
But in a fight, like Tyson he still wanted to go, man.
Yeah, Tyson wanted to go. When you see that dude in his training sessions and sparring sessions and stuff, he almost knocked his trainer out that one time, and I was like, "Oh!"
When he first got started.
Mhm.
I think he got into it because somebody he was in bed with his wife, and his wife called him fat or something. He's overweight.
No,
or
he
some
did.
Shit.
She said, you can go look. When he did the Rogan's podcast and he was heavier.
Yeah, that's probably where I heard it.
He was on Rogan's podcast and he was saying that he was like, "Yeah, I don't do anything. I don't work out. I don't run. I don't do nothing." And then he said, "Well, why don't you start working out again?" He goes, "Because I won't stop." And I was like, "Ugh." And he was like, and then the next time he did the podcast, he had dropped like 40 pounds, and he was like,
I think it was 100, dude. It was 100 pounds.
Dude, he was like he was rock solid. And when he did that second time that he did the podcast, and then Joe's like, "What happened, man?" He goes, "Well, we were talking last time about me not working out, and then none of my clothes fit, and my wife said I was gaining weight, so I decided to get on a treadmill for like 10 or 15 minutes a day, and now I'm doing like 45 minute sparring sessions." And I was like, man, that like he's built different. Like in his head, like he's like, once he starts something, he has to follow through. Like he's not gonna stop.
Dude, have you seen him when he was like 15, 16 years old, 14, man? Dude, look a man.
Yeah, that's like,
Fuck.
you ever like Sonny Liston?
Oh, yeah.
When I watch the videos on him, man, he that dude got murdered by the mob. He was an enforcer for the mob, and he ended up going to prison, and like he was fighting dudes in prison, and he got out, and I can't remember that dude he beat. It was like Muhammad Ali's heir supposedly, but it was a black dude that was like an Olympic
He fought
fighter.
Muhammad Ali when his name was Cassius Clay, still right? I think so.
I think so. I watched a bunch of those. Like I like watching those old boxing like documentaries or whatever those dudes make on YouTube. and they're like 20 minutes long, but it like gets you into their life. Like what's the other one? Man, what's that other dude's name? I wanted to name Kane after him, but Christina wouldn't let me. The dude that Tyson emulated.
Talking about
Jack Dempsey.
Oh, Jack Dempsey?
Yeah, Jack Dempsey. That fool was a bad dude, man. And that fight he lost, one of those last fights that he fought, he should have won that fight. But because he knocked the guy down and then like kept moving forward, the ref goes after him and pushes him back.
Yeah.
And like cut off 3 or 4 off the count. Then he turns around and starts counting, and the dude gets up at like 8.
Yeah.
But the dude was out, and he had enough time to recover. But if he would have just rushed in and started the count, the fight would have been over. And I was like, oh. But dude, one thing like that, your last fight or your last couple of fights, that could ruin your legacy. You'll be remembered differently the entire time.
Yeah.
Because no one really thought about it in the moment, but later on they're like, I don't know, if we go back and look at that, man, I think he won that fight. But that's like, man, you never leave it up to the judges. Leaving it up to the judges is the worst thing you can ever do.
Well, with the UFC, it's different though, right? They're more.
Oh, not really. The UFC, a judge, like, there's so many split decisions in the UFC, it's ridiculous sometimes. Like, because one guy, like when I watched, we were here after Troy's birthday party. We came back here and we watched John Jones fought Dominic Reyes, and that was the last time he fought. I think was Dominic Reyes. I don't remember him fighting anybody else. And Dominic Reyes beat him. He beat him. It was 3-2 on the rounds, but it's just like when people talk about beating Mayweather. To be the champ, you got to beat the champ. So if you got to finish the champ, you can't let the champ like dance around for 3 rounds and then tag you up for the last 2 in UFC 5 rounds and then think, oh well, there's some way we're gonna make it through this. There's some way we're gonna win. And Dominic Reyes gave John Jones the work, and John Jones went for takedowns. Dominic Reyes popped right back up. There was one round he took him down 3 times, and Dominic Reyes jumped up all 3 times. Like, instantaneously. He wasn't on the ground for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But those takedowns, the judges see him and they're like, oh, okay. He got a takedown. He got another one. Okay, he got another one. But it should be a universal scoring system where, okay, he took him down. If he has him on the ground for like 30 seconds, then we'll give him something. But if you take a guy down and the guy gets right back up, your takedown didn't matter because you couldn't do anything with it. But it's just like boxing, dude. Like, dude, we've watched some boxing fights, and I'm like, man, I don't know. The eye test says that guy lost.
And especially a lot of people, judges are human like us, fans too. They're always going to decide what the boxer they like, no matter what, dude. No matter fucking what.
I mean, it's the same thing with like they always say, like the referees in the NFL, they can't be fans of teams. The referees in the NBA,
that's true too, man.
But dude, at the end of the day. Come on, bro. You know you have a player you like.
And then what did you be? Would you do it? I'd be like,
on my team, bro. Where you from? Oh, I'm from California, man. Foul. LeBron, he just fouled. He fouled Luka. That's like a. Did you seen that? What is that meme or whatever? Where because they got the female refs in the NBA now, and one of those refs is like a. The ref is standing there, and then Luka walks up to her, and he goes, "You didn't see that foul?
Oh yeah,
you saw it." And she's like,
"Foul?
What foul?"
For the longest time.
What foul? I just saw it on YouTube today, and she's like, "What foul?" He goes, "Me falling in love with you."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh," it was funny, but at the same time, get out of here, bro.
Luka's young as fuck, dude. What is he like? 22, 23? Probably younger. 23. Probably getting on that weight.
I think he was 20. When he came into the league, I think he's 23 now.
Eating
I could be wrong.
Good food, man. Making money.
Yeah.
Playing the basketball or the league where they don't really play defense no more.
Because they don't let nobody play defense. Man, if Dennis Rodman was in the league right now, he'd be thrown out of every game. Flagrant, throw him out.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, too. Michael Jordan would D some guys up.
Yep.
Larry Bird.
Back in the day with that Pistons damn team, they were dirty as fuck.
The bad boys.
Yeah.
They were, man. But that was good basketball, bro. That's like that's like watching Larry Bird and Magic Johnson play basketball against each other.
Yeah.
Watching all those old YouTube clips, all those old videos. Dude, they were in like straight up wars. And what's the little guy that played with Karl Malone? Stockton. What's his first name?
I want to say just not Jerry.
I want to say Peter. But that's wrong.
That's way wrong.
Peter Stockton. What's that?
John. It's John Stockton.
John Stockton. You're right. You're right. That's like I can't remember who was talking about
I
it.
can hear you say that.
But they were like,
talking about, you remember Peter Stockton?
Peter Stockton.
Who?
So it was like, oh yeah. No, but I remember there's a video, or they were talking about him, and they're like, he looks like he just left Bible study or something when he would show up to the games.
Yeah.
He'd have like khakis on with like a button down and like not loafers, but just some kind of like a dress shoe, and that's how he would walk in. And they're like, he looked like he just left Bible study. Yeah. And they said that dude used to talk so much crap out there. Like when he would D you up, he'd be in your ribs. Like he was putting in work. And they were like, he seemed like the nicest dude when you met him, but when you're playing against him, everyone hated that guy.
Yeah.
And there's dudes that are like that. Like Dirk told a story before he had played an All-Star game. He hated Kevin Garnett.
Oh, because he talks shit.
Yeah, because Kevin Garnett would talk so much crap, and that's just not how Dirk played basketball.
Yeah.
Dirk, I mean, towards the end of Dirk's career, or like the last 5 or 6 years, Dirk was a lot more aggressive.
I'd say more than that.
He would get in people's faces. He'd make the shot and then stare somebody down. But early on, he wasn't like that.
Yeah, but you remember early on when he first got with the Mavericks, dude, he sucked. Like his shot, but I don't know if his dad. I think his dad was helping him out with his coaching with his shot or whatever. I might be wrong. I'm not sure.
He had a shooting coach. I don't remember that dude's name, but it wasn't.
I thought it was his dad, but maybe
it wasn't his dad.
I
don't remember that dude's name, but I remember he had a shooting coach in Germany. So when he would go home in the off season, he would work with that shooting coach. But Dirk showed up here with like a high top fade and an earring, looking crazy.
Yep.
And it's just weird, dude, to think like those are. I mean, that Euro step, a lot of those that kick out jumper that Dirk would use. Yep. There was Dirk. Somebody else used it too, but I can't remember who it was.
I remember when Steve Nash and Dirk were together. Michael Finley. Michael Finley, he was good, bro, but damn, he would miss some open shots and shit too.
Bro, Michael Finley was good at attacking the paint. Like he could dunk, he could cross you over and get in the paint. But it's like he didn't want to do that. It's like he wanted to shoot the jumper.
Yeah.
And
I think he wanted to be Jordan, dude.
Yeah. He should have. No, they said Michael Finley and Jordan played each other. Because Finley was from Chicago. And he said they played at one of Michael Jordan's camps. And then when the game, Jordan won, of course. And when it was over, though, he told Michael Finley, all right, man, one day I'll see you in the NBA. Because Michael Jordan knew then this dude's good enough. He's going to make it.
Yeah.
And that was when it was they had those T-shirts that it was like Michael Finley had a T-shirt. It was him dunking and it said "filthy," and then Steve Nash had one where he was like, it was like a no look pass because his eyes were all jacked up.
Yeah.
So you could never knew where he was going to throw the ball. But it said nasty, and Dirks had him with the kick out and it said dirty. So dirty, filthy, and nasty. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
But, dude, those are like the epitome of that basketball team, that running gun, that Don Nelson old school.
Don Nelson always like he was drunk.
He did. But that Don Nelson style of basketball, that running gun, like we're not going to play defense. We're going to outscore you, and you're going to have to outscore us. That's good basketball to watch, and it's fun to watch until you play a team that can outscore you.
Yeah.
And man, when I was with your brother the other day, we saw that 600 6-story duck or whatever by Trinity, and he was like, Man, the other because him and Yvonne went to the Mavs Kings game or whatever, and he said he was playing on there with.
Yeah, he bought season tickets.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. I guess for him and Yvonne.
But he was saying that he was like, man, I played like I think 02-03 Mavericks versus the Kings the other day, and he's like, I couldn't win, bro. Dude, when you look back, like I remember those teams for the Kings because the Mavericks for like 3 years, it was always the Mavs and the Kings in the playoffs, like second round. Like they'd already eliminated somebody. Here we go, but the Kings were stacked, bro. They had Mike Bibby. They had Bobby. What was that little black dude? Bobby.
He was a backup point
guard.
but
When Bibby was out, he was in. Bobby Jackson?
Yeah.
Is that right? Bobby Jackson? And then you had Doug Christie, Vlade Divac, Peja Stojakovic. Dude, when you think about those 5 dudes, and then they had more, but when you think about those dudes, like, I remember Vlade Divac.
Did you say Chris Webber?
No, I didn't say Weber. Okay, but that's 6.
I think he was the best player on that team, but yeah.
Everybody remembers that timeout, though, he called that he didn't have left. But that was in college. Sorry, Chris Webber. But, dude, that was a stacked team. And the Mavericks at that time it was Steve Nash, Michael Finley, Dirk. I think Bradley was there for maybe one of those playoff series. Maybe, but he stayed hurt, bro. And then
skinny bones.
Who else? Raja Bell was there for a little bit. One of those. Avery Johnson. The Mavericks had, well, not then. That was still Don Nelson then, not Donnie Don. And but I remember when Don Nelson left the Mavericks and he went to the Warriors and like he
had Steph Curry for a little bit, didn't he? Or no? I think he did.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
That was Mark
Maybe
Davis.
It was,
Mark Davis drafted him. No, Don Nelson was still with the organization, but he wasn't a coach. Yeah, he left and won like 2 playoff series with the Warriors, but that's when they had Baron Davis, the beard, and that's when like 300 came out, and everybody was like, "This is Sparta," and they had like the animations going with Baron Davis saying that.
But remember that year when because the Warriors were the 8th seed and they beat the Mavericks. Mavericks were fucking the 1 seed, and they beat them.
Yeah, bro. Why you gotta bring that up?
I was like, hell yeah.
You sorry, bro. All right. We've gone off topic. Okay, what's the 7th news story on your phone? Oh, did you? So who are you going for? Plant?
I kind of want Plant to win just because.
I want Plant to win. It's like watching a Mayweather fight. I want the other guy to win.
That because,
but in my head, I know that Mayweather was going to win. So in my head, I'm thinking I want Plant to win, but I know Canelo's going to pull it out. Bro, you're scrolling down a lot.
Yeah, it's the 7, man. It's like the shit I like, dude. It's fucking. You don't want to hear this.
What is it?
Nah, it's just. It says why the time is right for Alien Isolation sequel. It's the game I played. See,
we cannot do this on your phone again.
Yeah. Do the one above 6. Yes, milk is that expensive in Kennedale, Texas.
In Kennedale, Texas? How much is milk? You click on the story.
I'm clicking on it.
How much is it?
Hold on. A gallon of milk, $1.99. Now it's $2.79. So we buy 12 gallons of milk. Damn.
It's inflation, bro. It's only 75 cents. Get the hell out of here.
But it said if you buy milk 4 times a week, who buys some milk?
Exactly. Shit. You got 17 kids? 4 dogs?
Fucking Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers. Bro, you know he still wears those same shoes?
What?
The shoes that he likes, Phillip Rivers? The shoes that he likes, he says he has to go look for them on eBay because they don't make them no more. I'm like, bro, you're Phillip Rivers.
Just buy you some goddamn shoes.
Call Nike. Like, hey, I'm Phillip Rivers, and y'all used to make a shoe, but y'all stopped making it, and it's my favorite. I'm pretty sure someone will be like, wait, you're Phillip Rivers? Yeah, I'm Phillip Rivers. Dude, Phillip Rivers, dude, if you ever listen to like the mic'd up, he doesn't cuss, bro. Yeah. It's so funny. Come on, man, get your freaking crap together. He's yelling at guys. Are you freaking kidding me? And it's just like, oh, he's so amped up. And it's like, he's just like Ned Flanders. Like, he's just not going to say a bad word.
He's
but
thinking of it, but...
He wants to, but he's like, that's not who I am.
What is he, Christian or something?
Yeah. I think so, but his dude's got like 17 kids, bro. But
With one wife?
Yeah, I think he's still with his same. I think he is.
Damn, that's a lot of fucking kids.
Hey man, he made a lot of money. He can support all of them.
That's true, but still.
And Phillip Rivers just like all those dudes would show up to the NFL players, like all the black dudes would show up in like those flashy suits and whatever. Not Phillip Rivers. He shows up in cowboy boots and some jeans with his Stetson hat on. He's got that little, whatever those cowboys wear with the little, what's that thing called? With the leather straps and you push
Where's
the
it
little
from?
thing up. I don't know, bro. In my heart, I say he's from Texas. And if not, like Arizona, New Mexico. He could be from Louisiana, Georgia. He's from the South, clearly. He's a cowboy.
Let's see, I'm going to look it up real quick.
Look it up. Bro, how did we get to Phillip Rivers?
I don't know. It's okay.
Yes! That's my favorite.
Shit.
All right, this is Vincent's Beer Savage hat. He bought me one, but my head's too big, so I gave it to my mom.
Has she been wearing it?
Yeah, she has.
She's probably wearing it to work, right?
I hope not. But she showed up here when she dropped Troy off on
He's
Sunday.
from Decatur, Alabama.
Alabama.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I was going to mention that, but like, nah, I don't want to be wrong.
What?
I was going to say Alabama, where we were talking about, where he's from, but I was like, nah.
What were you gonna? You thought he was from Alabama before?
I was going to just guess it.
Oh, yeah.
Before I looked it up.
Yeah, you would have totally lost at Jeopardy. I was gonna say something, but I didn't. I didn't buzz in. He's from Alabama, somewhere.
Yeah, it's over 30 minutes, bro.
Where are we at?
Huh?
How many minutes?
You want to know?
Yeah.
We're like 50. It's just
It's
conversation.
good conversation,
man.
though. We're rolling. We're not. There's not like the dry points like last time. There was a lot of dry points last time.
Yeah. I think the window did it.
Closing those blinds. Closing them blinds. There's the last one though. There's nothing left in the ice chest but ice.
Yep.
I'll go dump that in the ice chest outside. But I was really encouraged the other day when your dad was like watching the Mavericks game, but also watching our podcast at the same time.
Yeah.
Split screen. I was like, "That's what's up, deal."
Oh, he just figured that shit out, dude.
I know he was telling me.
He thinks he's all fancy now.
I'm hoping I don't really have to cut and edit this, and I can just upload it.
Yeah.
But there's only that one spot.
When you got up.
Yeah, when I got up,
Yeah.
I might just leave that in there. It wasn't
Yeah,
even, I mean, it was like
okay.
13 seconds or something.
What least now we're just talking about anything, but
Huh?
I said now we're just talking about anything.
Now we're just talking about anything. Yeah, we're just trying to finish these beers now, so we can wrap it up.
I ain't gonna lie, man. These fuckers hit me harder than the ones last week.
They're 16-ounce cans.
Oh fuck! That's why.
And you said I go watch a boxing fight tonight. Honestly, dude, I just need a MacBook so I can just go from my phone and upload it, and then I can go into iMovie on the MacBook instead of on my phone trying to do it, and I can just upload it from the laptop instead of from my phone. But you know, live and learn.
Yeah.
I really don't feel like spending the money on a MacBook right now, even though I need a laptop because that HP over there is 20 years old. No, it's like 13 years old.
Damn.
You know you're behind in times and you're like, how old's your laptop? You're like, ooh, I got it when Troy was a baby. Oh, dude. Okay. So I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a Mavericks fan. And I'm an Oakland A's fan. Baseball-wise. We didn't even talk about the Boston Red Sox, did we?
Yeah. Well, I'm a Cowboys fan, Red Sox fan, Spurs fan, of course. What else?
He's a Tom Brady fan.
Oh yeah, Tom Brady, the GOAT.
TB12. TB12. Tampa Bay, watch this podcast because he is a Tom Brady fan. Just him. Tom Brady, you're all right. My Eagles beat you in that Super Bowl. Remember that. Why does Tom Brady only lose to NFC East teams in the Super Bowl?
That's crazy, right? Fucking Manning had him.
Eli got him twice, bro.
Look at that defense, but
still, like, you're like, man, I lost to Eli Manning. And then you're like, I lost to him again? And then you're like, I lost to Nick Foles? Shout out Eli Manning. What's Eli Manning doing now?
I don't know. I saw some on YouTube where they were talking. It was Eli, Peyton, and Tom Brady were talking recently.
Oh, yeah?
I guess I don't know how they do it. I just saw on YouTube, but it's like they're watching a football game together.
Oh, like breaking it down?
Yeah, or they're just talking too, you know.
But still, dude, can you imagine being in that room, sitting there with Tom
Well,
Brady?
they're not together. I think they're doing
On Skype or whatever?
Skype or shit, yeah.
Still, though.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being, like, invited to that Skype call? Like, your phone rings, Skype, and it says...
On accident.
And it says, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. I'm not going to work. I'm leaving right now. I'll be in a car. And then you tune in. You're like, who are you? I don't know, bro. My phone rang and it said Eli, Peyton, Tom Brady. So I answered.
They had that one number wrong on my phone number.
Oh, we were trying to get a hold of Phillip Rivers. Hey, man, I'm better conversation than that guy. I'm sure of it. I don't know who else you put in that category with those guys. Like, you can't just throw one of these young quarterbacks in. And I would honestly say, like, maybe Ben Roethlisberger. You throw Roethlisberger with those.
He's still trying to prove a point, man. Still,
it's not gonna happen, bro.
Yeah.
Well, he got one ring, right?
He gets two.
Did he get two? Jerome Bettis got him one. Did he get another one?
He gets two. Well, they beat the Seattle, and then they beat Arizona.
Okay.
So two, I think.
Okay. Oh, you already finished?
Yeah. And then Aaron Rodgers haven't won one since 2010, bro.
Bro, that's 11 years now.
Yeah. I was young then.
All right, we're gonna decompress. That's the end of the podcast. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. That's it. Do like a crazy face. His face wasn't crazy. Later.